What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we're going to be giving you more tips on the Fantasy Arcade because there is that one boss. Man, that one boss is just really annoying, and you probably will experience him around Chapter 4 already, and that is the Dominator boss. Miles above more difficult than the ranger, the priest. Like, he is difficult, and what we're gonna do is I kind of saved myself to a point where we can get a good look at everything that's gonna happen in this. So let's jump right into it. I'm gonna show you guys kind of the strategy that I use to get past Dominator. If he's giving you trouble, make sure your units aren't clumped up, get them kind of staggered a bit, and you might have some luck. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Let's jump right into some more Fantasy Arcade. So luckily, the other thing they changed with this is there are essentially like save points you can have now. You don't have to go the entire battle or anything. You can actually do this as you've previously reached wave 14. You can choose to continue the battle from wave 11. The battle will restart from the first wave. Continue. Yes, that's kind of the best thing because you can see here, you can automatically get a lot of these things going. The downside is the timer will start really quickly on you. And on this strategy, I would highly suggest, oh man, hold on. I just messed up already. Okay, so let's challenge again. I want to make sure I do everything in the correct order when you do save this. So the first things first is you need to do these two. You then need to jump to in the enhanced immediately and upgrade your heroes to where you want them. So we want to get Vesa into our lineup, and then the rest are going into the warriors. So we're going to go and spam these out real quick, get the warriors out. Okay, so now we're on wave 11. Not too bad. This is going to be a strategy you can kind of use for any time you come across Dominator because you will see him quite often here. Again, against Dominator, I highly suggest you save as many coins as possible. Do not pump any of them into getting additional levels or anything like that. Having more resources at your disposal is going to be the best strategy in my opinion, because even if you do make a mistake at some point, this is going to make it a ton easier to rebound and bounce back from any mistakes you do have. So continue summoning out more warriors. And essentially what you're going to do against Dominator is you don't want to summon all of your warriors at the same time necessarily. When you do get close to wave 15, you're going to want to make sure you have some in reserve so that you can stagger their progress. It's mainly because he does that big AoE cleave, and you don't want him to cleave your mages and your Vesa and everything because that is an expensive, like 8 units is very expensive to replace versus warriors and stuff. It's kind of easier to slot them in. You don't want Vesa to go down because that is going to be an expensive replacement. Now, we should also be able to get Asmodel starting with this chapter 4 difficulty here. It should not be too much of an issue here. It's kind of nice, the warriors coming in from the backside here to tank some hits maybe, although the elite is hitting us, but good lord. This is really bad too because you're not focusing all your damage on the big clumps of enemies, which means our timer might be a little bit of an issue, but it shouldn't be too bad. We should be able to bounce back pretty quickly from this. We're going to try to keep our warriors all out here though for the time being. Mainly because they also get healed and such. We still actually beat the timer, which was amazing. Wave 13, we only have a couple more to go before the big enemy. And honestly, you don't need higher quantity. You don't need higher level. Should be fine. So that's kind of a nice cone, the way that everybody's separated out. It's actually, the damage is pretty decent with these cleaves that we got going on. We're going to lose a warrior. Again, that's fine. We might start holding some warriors back from resummoning though here, just because I don't want all of them to go down. I want to be able to summon them like slowly when it comes to wave 15 if possible. Luckily, there's nowhere for things to get stuck here at all, so these waves are easy. Once you have the split multipass, there's tons of bugs where these guys love to just hide out in weird spots. So I think the goal here is on wave 15, we're going to try to keep our heroes as far out as possible. It looks like there's some mages and some spearmen warriors in the front, so let's try. We actually do need to continue summoning out these warriors because we're going to lose at least 1 or 2 more just in this wave as well. We are going to select you. There we go, which means we can summon him out, which should be helpful. I don't know if we're going to be re-summoning him, but we will see. They are kind of swarming, so we might have to start with all of our warriors up, although some of them might still die, which is kind of good. We're going to leave those spares for the time being. If we lose another one, that actually might be better to have 2 in the hole so that we can summon them pretty quickly. Yep, perfect. So we have 2 that are not up right now. That should be fine for the time being, especially since we have Asmodel wait out in the front. He has a huge HP pool compared to most heroes, so he is a very, very tanky boy and very good for distractions. Now, looks like we are going to get wave 15 right now, which is the boss wave, which is the one that has the timer as well. And we're not going to worry about summoning more units until Dominator starts to try to kind of crush our allies here. You can see how much he chunks their health bars for. It's very big. So I'm going to summon one more out so he's already on his way, and then I might do it again here in a second, probably right here. This is going to tank some of the ones that are closer, and then hopefully as the mages destroy them, we move forward and tank Dominator. Come on, we need them to make their progress forward because we need Dominator to not get too close to our allies. We're going to keep a couple warriors. Oops, see, there we go. We just lost a huge chunk of our allies. Again, we're going to try not to summon all the warriors out. We're going to try to stagger them. Once we see him do his big cleave here, that's when we need to get all these units. And this is why I said try to save as much gold as possible, because you're going to have to keep throwing more and more fodder at him. Granted, you don't need a ton of warriors right in front. This might be a perfect time to do it when Asmodel's about to go down, and we can kind of alternate all the warriors versus the Asmodel. Probably want to summon him though, because I think his big cleave's about to happen. Yep, there it goes. So you can kind of like stagger these and let your mages just go to town. Of course, timing wise, we're gonna have to come back to this one eventually, it looks like, because we're not able to get the timer just yet. Ooh, I kind of summoned the warriors a little too early. None of them survived. Uh-oh. So this means we are going to have to resummon a ton of our mages here, which again isn't the worst thing in the world, but he's about to cleave down like a big chunk of our army. So there he goes right there. We need to resummon all that, but hey, we got the kill, we got the 2-star. So again, don't worry if you don't 3-star stuff right out of the gate, because of course, as you continue on and you get more fort tech points, like the stars are only for the additional like bonus resources. The most important thing is unlocking and getting these fort tech points, because these tech points are going to continue powering up your team. And then of course you can come back to the later battle or the earlier battles like this one when you have a much more powerful team, maybe even more units, and you can go and get the additional rewards. Again, the killing the boss under 60 seconds is not a big deal. All that really is for the vending machine. It gets you some resources. That's kind of it. So don't stress about beating the timer. What you really want to stress about in the early game here of this game mode is getting through wave 15 and getting as many of these hammers, these tech points, as possible, because that's going to make your team even stronger. And then later you can come back with additional attempts and kill off the boss. Now, I don't know. See, you can actually like, you can start at 11 at any time. So, well, I didn't mean to actually do that. I didn't mean to do that. That wasted a coin. Oh well. But yeah, you can get my drift. The tech points are the most important part. So hopefully it helps you out with this strategy to get Dominator. Try not to put all your eggs in one basket, and make sure you have a big pool of coins left over so you can continually resummon your army as it staggers back towards your fort. Your fort durability stays at 100%. Hopefully it helps you guys out. I'll see you guys next time.